Yuji is straight up spawn camping Mahito till the end of time. I'm not gonna lie, when Yuji told Mahito that he would kill him over and over again no matter how many times he comes back or no matter what forms he takes on, I was low-key thinking that Yuji was just spitting some straight bars off the dome to aura farm on Mahito, and that he didn't literally mean he was going to stay alive forever to kill him over and over again. But nah, bro. Yuji meant every single word that came from his mouth, and he is currently, as we speak, fulfilling what he said he would do in the most literal way possible. Yuji, my dog, I knew you were him, but this is like another level of himness that we're talking about here. Listen, for those of you who might be confused, the latest Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo chapter just confirmed that Yuji is basically immortal. Nobara herself stated this by saying that Yuji, word for word, doesn't age at all, and while we still don't know exactly why this happened to Yuji, we can only assume that it probably has something to do with Yuji being the perfect vessel for Sukuna and the perfect creation of Kenjaku, or, and this is the theory I like more, it has something to do with Yuji accidentally cursing himself when he swore to Mahito that he would kill him again and again. Either way, this means that Yuji will actually be alive for the rest of all time, waiting and waiting and waiting for Mahito to come back. Yeah, I cannot lie, bro. I am proud to say that I've held all of my Yuji stocks since the beginning, and no matter how bad the Jujutsu Kaisen community slandered him at his lowest, I always knew he was going to end up becoming one of the most goated characters in the verse. Yeah, to all of you who were out here slandering Yuji in the past, saying he can't win a fight on his own, and even more so to the people that are still currently slandering Yuji as we speak by creating images like this saying Yuji is hiding from the alien threat because he's scared, just stay right on that side over there, and I better not see a single one of you switching up the second Yuji does something crazy in the new JJK sequel. Yes, I am gatekeeping, by the way. If you want to slander Yuji now, then you better stand on it in the future. Anyways, let's take a second to talk about how Mahito must be feeling right now, because knowing that you got a 6-foot, muscular, and depressed sorcerer that has nothing better to do than to jump you the second you even think of opening your eyes in the human realm again must be a terrifying thing to feel. Mahito straight up only has two viable options right now. He can either stay in limbo, which is the void of complete darkness in between literal life and death for the rest of eternity, while he will be stuck alone listening to nothing but his own thoughts, or he can choose to come back, open his eyes in the human realm again on Earth, take a deep breath only to be immediately killed in the most gruesome way possible and sent back to the void. Yeah, Mahito, I'm simply making this suggestion in the nicest, most respectful way possible, so please don't go out here idle transfiguring my family or nothing, but buddy, it's time for you to pack it up and never open your eyes again. Yuji, the man chosen by the Black Sparks, the only student to surpass Gojo and the strongest sorcerer of tomorrow, is never letting you see the light of day again. You can come back 10 times, 100, or even 1,000, and every single time you will be greeted by the same sick and twisted pink-haired man. You're gonna open your eyes one day and instantly black flash. Then you're gonna open your eyes the next day, piercing blood, then the next soul-damaging dismantle, and then the next domain expansion. One more time, maybe fuga on your head. Hey, maybe in 100 years, a soul-damaging world-cutting black flash. Yuji has a near infinite bag at his disposal, and he will have nothing to lose but time once his friends are all dead. So Mahito, it's time to wrap it up. Unless Mahito were to change his ways, similar to how Sukuna said he would maybe change the way that he lived if there were a next time due to him losing to Yuji, then he will never come back. Now, having said all of that, I actually do think that Mahito is returning within the next couple chapters of Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo, and due to something that just went down in the latest chapter, Yuji will not be able to just freely kill him if he were to return. So basically, in the latest JJK JDAWG Modulo chapter, Deborah and the aliens requested that Japan stop killing all curses immediately because they seem to have a very strong bond and connection with curses that are either the same thing or very similar to the creatures that they pretty much worship on their home planet. Japan obviously cannot grant them this request because if they were to stop killing curses, then all of Japan would be overrun by them as they overflow out of Tokyo, and by not killing them, the curses would continue to grow in strength and power, and it would also give the opportunity for the special grade disaster curses to come back and reign free. Yeah, I think you can all see where I'm going with this. Since Japan denied the request, Deborah challenged Japan to a one-on-one duel with a warrior of their choice, and whoever wins the duel will get to decide what happens to curses moving forward. Japan chose Yuka. Yes, the same Yuka who is currently on the verge of death and probably not even a grade 2 level sorcerer yet, so it's safe to say that if this fight goes down, Japan is losing this duel in 2 pages max, and that means they will be forced to stop killing curses, which means that Mahito can come back without the threat of Yuji. Now, do I think that Yuji should listen to this demand from the aliens? Absolutely not. But do I think he will? Maybe. Right now, in order for Yuji to be able to kill Mahito if he were to come back within these next 2 chapters, which I think is bound to happen because this is genuinely the only chance Mahito has at returning, Yuji will need to either completely ignore the demands of the aliens and kill Mahito, which will most definitely cause the aliens to invade Earth at full force, and Yuji will most definitely need to end up fighting Deborah because he is the only one capable of doing so, or he can step up and take Yuka's place in the final duel against Deborah so that he can then beat Deborah in a fair one-on-one honorable duel, so then he can freely kill Mahito without causing the aliens to invade Earth. Either way, Yuji is gonna have to end up taking out 2 different special grade calamities on his own, and with the first choice, he has the risk of having to fight off all the aliens who have been shown to be extremely strong with busted curse techniques. And then with the second choice, he has the risk of giving Mahito enough time to come back and grow stronger and smarter while he's busy dealing with Deborah. In all honesty, if I'm Yuji, I'm going with the first option and I'm sliming out baby Mahito and then dealing with the consequences after. Because the risk of letting Mahito reach his full potential is far greater than the entirety of the alien invasion. Like, as powerful as Yuji has gotten over the years and with the insane bag he has, you cannot sit here and tell me that a full potential Mahito wouldn't be a major issue for Yuji. Listen, I love glazing Yuji as much as y'all. Like, that dude is a goat and by far one of the strongest characters in the entire verse at this point. But a full potential Mahito can unironically go band for band with anyone in the show. Idol transfiguration and the ability to target and manipulate the soul are straight up overpowered and busted abilities that can one-tap anyone with a single touch, and it's even worse when it's used as the sure hit effect in his domain. Then you got the fact that Mahito can also shape his body in any way that he likes. Like, he can straight up create multiple mouths and hands, which is the equivalent of hacking. Dog, Sukuna's body, which had 4 hands and 2 mouths, was glazed by the narrator as being the perfect body for Jujutsu due to it allowing him to be able to say multiple chants at the same time and to also use multiple techniques at once with his different set of hands. So imagine that, but times 100 for Mahito. And then you also got the fact that Mahito was growing in strength and skill faster than anyone else in JJK. This dude was literally only 2 months old in JJK, and within that time he learned the true essence of his own soul. He learned how to do a domain expansion, and on top of that he also learned how to do a 0.2 second domain after witnessing Gojo do it only once. It may sound like I'm low-key glazing right now, but if he's out here learning techniques of that high of a caliber after only 2 months, just imagine him after a couple hundred or 1,000 years. Yuji has to do everything in his power to ensure that this man Mahito never reaches that level, because the entire verse could genuinely be cooked if that were to happen. The spawn camping is very necessary. By the way, y'all Y'all went absolutely insane by getting both my last long form videos to over 100,000 views, which is ridiculous. So yeah, from here on out, I am locking in for y'all and dropping as many bangers as I can, and I will also be dropping videos on the new chapters the second they release, so make sure you subscribe to your boy.